Y'all, Game of Thrones, season 4, episode 6. Y'all, I'm just really excited to see it. Like, I'm telling y'all, this episode hit fucking the same every time I see this episode. It hits the same way it did the first time I seen it. Like, y'all go watch the episode and tell me if that shit don't hit the same at the end of the episode like it did the first time y'all seen it. So let's talk about the beginning, the unimportant parts that really don't really matter. But let's talk about these parts first before I get to the real meat of the fucking episode. So Yara basically goes to the great, I mean, not go to try to go rescue Theon or whatever the case may be. So she get there with her little few men or whatever the case may be to the dungeons to try to go rescue Theon and get Theon out. Theon is so fucked up in the head that he ain't even trying to go with her. Like, he biting her and fighting her, fighting his own sister, and she trying to save his fucking life and shit. So ultimately, some of her men got knocked off and she was getting outnumbered. So she had to leave his ass because ain't nobody gonna keep fighting the fucking body that want to keep staying inside of his prison cell. You feel me? Like, you want to stay or you want to go? And Theon ass wanted to stay. Okay, talk about his name is Reek, and he ain't going nowhere. Yada yada yada. So she had to get up out of there and leave him. And basically, they was like, "What's going on with your brother?" And she was like, "My brother is gone. Like, we ain't talking no more about him. That motherfucker is. I didn't risk my life for him. I'm not fucking with his ass, right?" But Yara, you could tell she like real hurt by the shit. Like, she was looking deep in his eyes. Like, she could see how fucked up her brother really is for real, being underneath of Ramsay Bolton's care or whatever. So Ramsay Bolton is like buttering Theon up or whatever the case may be, treating him really nice and stuff like that because he want Theon to go to the Iron Islands and basically carry out some type of plot that he want him to do, which probably happened in like the next couple of episodes or whatever. So we get to where Daenerys is, or whatever the case may be, and she's still a Marine. Now she's ruling. So now she has to hear, like, the petition of the people and stuff like that to see what's going on. So she need to get a fucking, like I said, a whole, get control of Drogon because he out there burning people, animals and shit, and just doing whatever he want to do. So now she got to pay for Drogon's mess and get these people some money because he didn't took all their animals and everything like that. And then she had put those slave masters up on the wall and stuff, and one of the men, um, he was asking for his father's body, and she was basically saying she did what she had to do, yada yada yada. But then he was like, "Well, my father was speaking out against, them torturing the children slaves or whatever the case may be, and blah blah blah," which is something that she didn't know. So ultimately, she ended up letting him bury his father or whatever the case may be. So, let me see. So, Stannis and them, like I said, they got the money from the Bank of Bravos or whatever the case may be. And they basically, about they funding Stannis' war or whatever, his little battle. Now let's get to the meat of the shit. So Tyrion trial starts, okay? So his judges is Grand Maester, Grand Maester, somebody from the Tyrells. That's Marjorie grandfather. So Marjorie grandfather is there. Um, the second son of the one that can't stand the Lannisters, he there is the judge, and Tywin is the judge. Okay. So they all in there judging. They got the whole fucking throne room set up like a courtroom. Like, that shit was so cute to me. I thought it was cute. But they got the whole throne room set up like a courtroom or whatever the case may be. So the old man, Maester or whatever, who really can't stand Tyrion, he comes in there talking about Tyrion came in there and stole all the poison out his shop where he had put him in prison. And then they said they found the necklace of the guy that had smuggled Sansa out, and the whole necklace was there on them or whatever. And basically, they saying that the residue of the poison was inside of that, and that was the poison that had, murked Joffrey or whatever. So then, who else testified? Varys testified. Another Kingsguard had testified about saying how Joffrey was how Tyrion smacked Joffrey several times and basically like threatened him in plain sight or whatever the case may be to people and stuff like that. And then Cersei got on there talking about how he threatened her son, talking about she gonna lose everything, yada yada yada. And her son was so brave that he that he went to fight on the fight fight for everybody and led the war against Stannis on. Damn well he ran back in the fucking house when that shit was going on, right? Like, he was a bitch. For real. Tyrion was out there. So Varys got on there. Basically, he was saying how, the little comment that he had made after they had found out that Robb Stark had got killed or whatever the case may be when he was at the last, the meeting or whatever the case may be. And so he basically asked Varys, like, well, you told me that even though I saved everybody, people ain't going to believe, ain't going to hear about it, yada, 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 but do you still remember? And Varys is like, sadly, I don't forget anything. Like, he a bitch, somebody had paid him to say to say that little part or whatever. But what Varys said was true, but it don't got shit to do with the case at all, right? And the old maester, let me tell you what he gonna say. This shit was funny. This shit had me laughing. He gonna say that Tyrion gave him the poison that killed. What he say that off a very noble boy or whatever. Basically trying to say that Joffrey was some noble person who didn't deserve this or whatever the case may be. I'm like, oh my gosh, please. So the camera kept on cutting out to like Marjorie and all of them up there. They all sitting up high watching it, and you could tell like they all just disgusted. Like, Marjorie already know that Tyrion is innocent because her grandmother already said that he wasn't. But she don't know like to the extent of how her grandmother is involved or whatever the case may be. So then the court goes to adjourn or whatever on lunch break. So they all going on lunch break. Okay, during lunch break, Jaime brokers a deal with Tywin, basically telling him, like, let Tyrion live, and he would go to Castle Rock, and he would, take the family name and bear the children and basically continue Tywin's legacy or whatever, and Tywin agreed. So when the court came back in or whatever, Jaime went to go tell Tyrion, like, you need to plead guilty. Father's gonna let you live. He's gonna let you go to the Castle Black, yada, yada, yada. Tyrion didn't know all the details about what was really going on, but, he just said, plead guilty, trust me, you ain't gonna die, they gonna send you to the wall or whatever. So then the last witness that comes in is Shay. So here comes Shay coming in there and shit. Her ass still in her feelings or whatever the case may be, hurt because of the last thing that Tyrion had said to her. So she basically said that Tyrion and Sansa had conspired against the king or whatever the case may be and all this shit. Like, she was just lying so bad, like throwing in lies, all because her feelings was hurt. And Tyrion was fucking hurt by that shit. Like, when they threw Shay up in there, his ass was not, like, having it. So he basically told them people, like, I wish I could poison all y'all asses. Like, fuck y'all, fuck the king. I don't give a fuck about none of y'all, for real, for real. And he basically said, like, his father basically, like, been treating him like this his whole entire life. Like, he been on trial for dwarfism for all his life, for real. So, he was like, he's not no monster. He said that he ain't going down for Joffrey murder because he didn't do the shit. And he basically demanded a trial by combat, pretty much. And everybody that's looking all crazy in the scene cut. But my thing is that when they should never have brought Shay in there, because when they brought Shay in there, that really, like, broke Tyrion. Like, Tyrion really went the fuck off then, like, oh, these type of games y'all want to play? Okay. And this is like a battle between him and his father now. It's like, okay, let the fucking games begin. You feel me? So, yeah, I don't know. The episode just hit the same that it did the first few times that I seen the episode. And I had to keep rewatching the end part, especially the trial when Tyrion had went off, because he gave a really good fucking speech. I mean, really good speech, y'all. But let me know what y'all think about this episode, and I'll see you on the next one.